Hello friends. Some people says that the work done by shortcut is not going to give a long-term benefits. But my question to all is, then why people had made all those shortcuts? Sometimes uh, the shortcuts are beneficial because we are living in the world where time is the money. I am talking about shortcuts because me and my group are going to explain you the world biggest shortcut, Panama Canal. So, before starting this presentation, I would like to introduce my group. We are students of KIT College of Engineering Kolhapur of first year from Civil Engineering branch. Myself, Harshvardhan Vijay Deshmukh, roll number 12, and my group is roll number 7, Sujit Ranjit Bhosle, roll number 1, Dinesh Dadaba Amle, roll number 62, Naval Santosh Shimre, and roll number 17, Ranjit Vijay Kumar Yadav. So, let's see the contents in this presentation. First one is introduction, second one is construction of canal, third one is the material and estimation, fourth one how does canal actually works, second last is advantages and disadvantages of canal, and last one is the conclusion. So let's start with the introduction. So what is Panama Canal? It is basically a big shortcut. The Panama Canal is the man-made canal which joins the Atlantic Ocean and the Pacific Ocean. It so when going to Pacific Ocean to Atlantic Ocean or vice versa, it saves the distance to travel, also the expenditure and time. So for example, if ship sail from New York, which is at east coast of USA, is going to the San Francisco through the Cape Horn, the southernmost tip of South America. It has to travel 22,000 kilometers, but through this Panama Canal it has to travel only 9,000 kilometers. So in this way the distance is saved to travel. So I would like to inform you that the canal is still one of the most highly traveled waterway in the world, handling over 12,000 ships per year. So this is the introduction of the Panama Canal. So let's see the construction of the canal. It was one of the largest and most difficult engineering project ever undertaken. So the construction of canal is completed in 3 stages. The first one is the French era, second one is the canal construction decade, and third one is the canal expansion program. So in the 1881, France began the work on the canal. Before that, France bought the rights to construct the canal from Colombia in 1879. So at that time, France has a success of the Suez Canal. So under in charge of the de Lesseps, the builder of the Suez Canal, French began to clear the jungle, excavate the land, and level the mountains. However, some economic corruption and rampant illness seriously undermined the projects. Malaria and yellow fever took the lives of the 22,000 laborers and engineers. So, because of some engineering problems and workers' death, French stopped the work. So, on the screen, you can see the remaining section of French Canal. The next attempt made was America. For further information, I would like to call my friend Sujit to continue his presentation. Thank you.
Hello friends, my name is Mr. Sujit Ranjit Bhosle, roll number C07, and I am going to tell about the canal construction decade. So the decade of 1904 to 1914 is known as canal construction decade of the Panama. So the various events took place in this decade. So let's have a look on it. The first event, or the first, we can say, the milestone is the separation of Panama from Colombia. Before 1903, Panama and Colombia were a single country, but due to some political issues, Panama was separated from Colombia, and the new country, Republic of Panama, was formed on the date 3rd November 1903. So Roosevelt assisted Panama for separation from Colombia, and for this assistance, or we can say for this treaty, the grants of the Panama Canal was given to USA, and for this, in return, the Panama had gave the rights of the Panama Canal to USA, and after that, the USA protected the Panama from Colombia. So let's have a look on the next subpoint, that is contribution of President Roosevelt. So Roosevelt purchased French assets for 40 million US dollars in the year 1902. Actually, the France government abandoned the work of the Panama Canal due to some economic crisis. But after that, the assets was purchased by USA. So again, the Roosevelt did the thing, that is the military support to Panama. So as we know, the Panama separated from Colombia, so there were some security reasons for security threats to Republic of Panama, which was a newly formed country. So Roosevelt supported them in the military assistance. Also, the thing happened that in the chief engineer of the Panama Canal resigned from his post, and at that time, the new chief engineer was appointed by Mr. Roosevelt, and that person who was appointed as a chief engineer didn't spoil the work, and the work was not affected due to him, and finally it was completed. So let's take a look on the next subpoint, that is converting Gatun Lake to Gatun Dam. So Gatun Lake is situated in the Isthmus of Panama. The construction of the Gatun Lake took place from 1907 to 1913. So Gatun Lake has also a hydroelectric power plant which generates the electricity. And the next thing is that it also controls the varying charges of the isthmus, the water of the isthmus. This helps to control the water, and as the water is controlled, the locks are also controlled, and it helps to cross the ships over the Panama. So our next slide is expansion of Panama Canal. Any big project requires the expansion and expansion is gradually required after time. So let's have a look on the expansion of the Panama Canal. The construction of canal approach and the expansion was needed with the time, and the expansion project was the largest project in the modern era. It is one of the largest projects actually, and the cost of this expansion project is 5.25 billion US dollars. So it is a quite gigantic project, we can see. And this expansion projects, it was undertaken within several years. The construction of the new Pacific approach panel was needed, and which was done. So the new Pacific approach canal was built, and it bypasses the Miraflores Lake and will operate 9 meters above the existing canal. In the year 2004, let's come to the next subpoint. In the year 2004 of the February, 7,800 cubic yard of the spoil was dredged from the bottom of the Gatun Lake. As we know, the mega projects, especially the water projects like this, requires the dredging work, because if dredging is not done, it may affect the working of the canal, and it may affect the transportation of the ships. So dredging was done, and the regular dredging is done in the Panama Canal, in the interlocks of the canal, and etc. Also in the Gatun Lake. And the next, we can say the next major modification done in the Panama Canal was the Gatun Spillway. raising the lake level approximately 1.5 feet to provide additional water supply storage. The water supply is the essential part. Uh, the height of the lake was uplifted, and the water storage capacity has increased. And the other we can say other advantage of Gatun spillway is to provide from flood protection. As we know, in the rainy season it is quite difficult to control this canal, so the Gatun spillway is built, so it will the control the water level, and also it will protect the canal from the floods. So this so here I conclude myself. Now I will like to call my next colleague, that is Mr. Ranjit Yadav, to continue the presentation.
Hello friends, my name is Ranjit Yadav, roll number 70 from C division. Now I would like to tell you about the material and estimation which are used for making the Panama Canal. So let's start first with the which material is used for making the Panama Canal. Here the most durable and modern material like concrete, fly ash, bentonite, bituminous, and some plastic sheets are used. The locks are made up of concrete, and the vertical edges of gate are fitted with effective materials such as white oak. The special type of concrete and mappy used for it, the Planito 15, it is the organic powder, and the liquid admixture Molecure SRA, especially for reduce the cracks by hygrometric shrinking and self-compacting concrete. The MAPI was used to make the external and internal sides of concrete. And on Atlantic side, they used a mixture of Dynamon XP2 and Panama cement. On and specific side, they used a Cemex cement. So friends, all this material is used for making the Panama Canal. Now we now the estimation. The estimation of canal built it by French and American in the unit of thousands of ballbooks. Widening and strengthening of the Gillard means cubral cut is about 18,065 ballbooks. Assets administration system is about 5,17,456 ballbooks. Dredging at a Pacific entrance is about 2 crore 53 lakhs 43,167 ballbooks. And also program administration is about 8 lakh 21,824 ballbooks. Increase of maximum operational level of Guten lakh is about 9 lakh 35,946 ballbooks. Now design and the construction of post Panamax locks is about 1 crore 59 lakhs to 2,123 ballbooks. Disposal side studies in the Atlantic side is about 1 crore 46 lakh 18,360 ballbooks, and the other various projects are about 42,163 ballbooks. So friends, all this information about the material and estimation of Panama Canal. Now let's see how does it work of one Panama Canal. Friends, the working of this canal is very easy, and it is usually classified into 3 steps. Now the first step is releasing the water to adjust level, means the lock prepares to receive the ship by opening the valves and releases 26 million gallons of fresh water into the sea. The water level of the first lock drops to sea level. Now the second step is opening gates for the ship. Means when the water levels are the same, the level is the valve is closed and the first gate is opened, it allowing ship to enter the first chamber. And the third one step is gates are closed and valves of second gate are opened. Means the gate is closed and the valve of the next lock opens. It is shown in the presentation. This time water draining from second lock rises water level of the first lock. Then when levels are equal to second gate is opened and ship moves into the second lock. The process is repeated to until first step is the ship is reaches the level of Gutten lake. So friends, this is the information how does the canal is works. Now I invite my friend Nawal Simre to proceed the presentation.
Good morning. Myself Nawal Santosh Shimbre, roll number 62, C division. Before the Panama Canal, it was very difficult to travel by ships from East Coast, New York to the West Coast, California. In order to do so, a ship had to travel thousands of miles out of the way. A ship had to travel all the way down around the tip of South America and all the way back north to the California. This was a very long and dangerous trip. The total distance of this trip was more than 12,000 miles. The Panama Canal cut this distance by more than half. There were many advantages and disadvantages of Panama Canal. There are as follows. First, the canal shortens the time and distance it takes for ships to travel from the Atlantic to the Pacific Ocean, getting rid of the long trip around the South America. Second, once the canal was built, it allowed for easy trade between Asia, Europe, North and South America. Third, the canal helped reduce shipping cost of the goods that were now easily getting transported. Fourth, the canal also helped extend American naval power and guaranteed a strong American presence in Latin America. Fifth, the main advantage of canal, it shown the engineers can make impossible things possible and will use for future development projects. Disadvantage. First, the project took nearly 40,000 deaths of French and American during construction. Second, it may be dangerous in environmental point of view because it created too much pressure on American continental due to unnatural flow of water. Overall, the Panama Canal is great wonder. It made much easier to go from the Atlantic Ocean to Pacific Ocean. Countries all across the world could now sail from Europe to Asia much more easily. It is basically a big shortcut. Now I would like to invite my friend Dinesh to proceed presentation. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Dinesh Amle, roll number C01. Now I continue further slide. Canal save the distance of shipping. Before Panama Canal, it was very difficult to travel by ship from East New York to West California. In order to do so, a ship had traveled all the way down the tip of South America and then all the way back to north up to California. This was a very long dangerous trip. The length of the trip is about 12,000 million. A canal through Central America would cut this distance by more than half. Second conclusion, the Panama Canal is one of the cornerstone of a set of infrastructure facilities and processes. Third conclusion, help to improve GDP of a nation. The canal competitiveness entail all the other vessel, cargo services including port, railway, free zone, special economic zone and distributed center operation. Friend, this is conclusion about Panama Canal. Now see the small video about Panama Canal which show more information about Panama Canal.